Makhotso is actually Makhotso, who by marriage became Makhotso Rafoneke. She is a young, like I said, dynamic black woman who is passionate about a whole lot of things. So I am passionate about the spaces in which I reside and function and work. I'm also passionate about family. I'm a mother of 5. I'm a wife and a sister and just part of a bigger network. And I am a lover of very beautiful things, but I also love and enjoy the journeys of what people go through. And I enjoy not only finding those journeys and learning about them, but I also enjoy inspiring people to go about their journeys in a more authentic manner. My career journey actually started in 2002. So I've been in the motor industry for just over 18 years now. So I joined as a taxi in 2015 of June. And I have fulfilled a number of roles in as a taxi since then. So I started off initially as an operations support manager. Then I did governance and I did document securities. And then I did process documentation, and now I'm in quality and process optimization. So my first day at SA Taxi was a culture shock. And I think when I think back to that day, I experienced SA Taxi to be anything but formal and structured like I expected it to. So it certainly didn't meet any of my expectations. It was light and engaging and entertaining and different. So it intrigued me. I draw my strength from belief in a higher power. So I believe in God. I believe that whatever is meant to be will be. And obviously I apply myself on a day-to-day basis, but I really believe that there is a higher power who has really got everything figured out, not just for me, but for anybody else. So there's quite a number of women that have helped to shape me. At the top of my head is my grandmother, who raised me, because my mom was late at age 14. This woman was a pioneer in education. She loved everything that was to do with music. She was an avid music lover. And she basically just had a resilience about her that keeps me going till this day. I love women, young professionals like Makhotso, she's the Vice Chancellor at UCT currently, who is doing the most at the moment. I love the fact that there are authentic people like that who, simple things like instead of spending funds on a lavish into a welcome ceremony, she went and used all of those funds to pay for prior students who hadn't been able to graduate because they hadn't paid their funds, and got those students to graduate. So they are really, she's a shifter, a mover of what the current status quo is, and I really appreciate women like that. In my personal spaces, there are quite a number of women that inspire me. There's a lady called Emily Diolo. She's a friend of mine, and her story is so beautiful. She is a classic story of moving from a place of being underprivileged and really downtrodden to a place of such resilience and such performance. She is an honors graduate. She's an instructional designer from being a mother at such a young age, because she lost her sister who had 2 children whom she then inherited and had to basically bring up. Both of those children are now graduates as well. So just personal stories of women like that touch me. Women like Nomza Mugason, who is the former head of National Communications and Ansex, who now owns her own business. Women like Temondi Bagwani, who, although she was making headway in corporate in places like Nedbank and Sashimi, thought that she wanted a job that gave more to society and added some value, and that's how she joined PPS. There are loads of women in SA Taxi as well that I absolutely am enjoying watching and observing their journeys from a personal and from an observational space. So there's one piece of advice my grandmother gave me, and I never ever forget it, and it is my life's philosophy. It's that each one teach one philosophy. So she really inculcated that in me and showed me the benefit of, as I pursue whatever my passion is and whatever it is that I love, I must always be mindful to be ensuring that I'm bringing up other women behind me that will be sure to fill the spaces that I leave black. And I think if all of the women were to adopt that kind of mindset, the struggle of women would be so much less. So we're going to like the bottom of this chain almost. We are almost the last to be considered in terms of everything. I think it helps that the new age woman is a go-getter who goes for what they want, and in spaces where these spaces are not available to us, women have certainly gone ahead and created those kind of platforms for themselves. But I think there is still much to be done in that space in terms of not just allowing but enabling women to perform and be their best in corporate spaces. What can be done to empower and enable women to step into these roles is definitely cut down on the structural prejudices that currently exist. I mean, you see more and more women playing golf nowadays because a lot of business is concluded on golf courses and things like that. So there's definitely headway being made in that case. But I think, as in any conversation that has to do with either disadvantage or prejudice, then the one that is kind of in the headway, so in this case, the males would need to actively stand against those stereotypes and prejudices that disadvantage women by design. I don't believe it's women are not in these spaces because they don't have the skills to. They certainly are ready and willing to get into these places. However, there are certain blocks into these spaces. The sponsors in the areas are predominantly male, and they will sponsor other males. And I think this is a way and form in which we can start to challenge these. If individual males will sponsor women of potential and put them in these spaces so that they can see that women are not only willing, but they are also capable of taking up these spaces, I think that would certainly work.